Face on the bag, I don't really like to brag. Gun in my socks when I'm stepping out of safe. So my head in the morning.
How's it going, YouTube? It's 110% been a real long time since I posted anything, probably like 4 or 5 months. A lot has happened with the GTI, but due to the fact that I'm doubling up on school and work and just managing things at home with everything that's been going on, I haven't been able to put a video to it yet. But I decided to fix that with this one. Today, I will be introducing you guys to the ECS Tuning carbon fiber rear diffuser. And when you go on there, you'll see, I'll leave the link below, but you'll see 2 on there. And it'll be one, that it still replaces the real valance, but it looks a little bulky, and to get it lined up right, you kind of have to shave down the edges. And while I don't mind modifying, it just takes a little bit. So I decided to say, let's kick it up a nickel. And because this one was in stock compared to some that I was looking for, I decided to pull the trigger on this one. And we're just going to go ahead and skip to the part where I cut open the box, and we're going to just go straight into talking about it, because that's what we want to see. Why wait 30 extra seconds for me to cut open a box and cut through a bunch of styrofoam and stuff when I can just show you what's going on? So you're going to have to excuse my toes and all that stuff that you will see, but this is it. This is for the Mark 7, and I believe that's like 2015-ish to 2018, 2017-ish, but this is a rear diffuser for the Mark 7 GTI. And as you can see, the fins are pretty nice. They leave a good amount of room right here. I like that, because if you could see now with the other rear valance, it's kind of like touching that piece there. I know they're dirty, it's been a while, and it's kind of dirtying up that bit. So for a little bit of class and a little bit of safety, I put this vinyl tape here, not only because it looks good, but just to keep it from kind of messing that up. But off the bat, rear diffuser looks good. Obviously carbon fiber, it's pretty light, pretty light. I like it. Not too shabby. The boxing it came in was real legit, let me tell you. Like, this thing was wrapped in so many layers, it was far from a joke. Like, you come over here and I had to cut through like 5-6 layers of this. It was just taped up from like top to bottom. And then after you have gone through all the layers on this, ECS ensures that this will get to you, because they know how fragile this stuff could be, and because we don't want to have to send back parts and try to wait for it. But that's okay, because it's here now, and we're definitely go ahead and get it thrown on. I'm probably gonna do just like a quick through on the install. I'll do my best to kind of show you the important bits, but I have took off the rear valance before, and it is time consuming and it is annoying. But I will show you some of the key parts and maybe some tricks that I did, if I can think of any, that I did that some people might do differently, that helped me get the original rear valance off in order to get this one on nice and snug and clean. And then we will get a nice little before and after, and it'll be good to go. So let's get this bad baby jacked up and start going through the process. All right, so first part, reading the instructions. You will remove screw 1, screw 2. Those are both T15s. Then you will come over here and under, you will unscrew that. And same thing for the other side. Both are T25s out here. And then, as I was attempting to be able to break the liner, I realized you need to at least be able to undo screw here and the screw here, both T25. I found it easier just to jack up the car and take the tires off. Tire, wheels, whatever you want to call the whole package. There it is. I'll leave that to you on. And then from there, after you get that, you peel this back. I'm gonna do my best to try and get it in there. But yeah, the sunlight's really gonna poop on this one. You can see these 2 screws, bottom left. Those will come off. Do the same for the other side. And then from there, it's a lot of aggressive jerking, yelling, and cussing to be able to break this baddie from here. And then we move straight on to bolting up that one over there. It would not make sense if I was prepared for this. it wouldn't be DIY. It just wouldn't make sense. Sorry, that was my finger. So I've been trying to locate next for you guys so it doesn't look so janky, but there's 2 tabs, and I believe they're right here. It's one tab, and then there's like another tab under here, and you're gonna pop those out and then just yank at the balance. Literally, you have to pull, take a sip of your beer, cuss, pull again. It's the only way this is gonna work, but that is the next step to getting the balance off. So you could see the 2 lower clips were actually on the left and right of where that center screw came from. You can see it's like the topmost tip right there, and then on the left and the right. You only have to kind of break those. After that, they mean it. You'll literally have to brace yourself on the bumper, break the sides away, and then just with one hand on the part of the balance that hangs here and one hand here, just kind of like slowly pull, and it's gonna break away. And it might crack because that thing is fragile, but it wouldn't be Volkswagen if it was made with some level of durability. Sorry if you guys can hear the wind. It's starting to pick up, so I'm trying to knock this out. But yeah, with just a little bit of pulling, I was able to break this free, and it is just a row of clips here. And you were able to break that free, it comes off, and now we get to go on to the fragile bit of all this and hope that that sits and goes in a lot smoother. So once you have the balance off, and everything's good, you're gonna take the 2 mounting brackets that they give you. It's kind of janky because the holes here are squared, and you know, it wouldn't be Volkswagen if it wasn't square, because you know, why have anything make sense? It's a Volkswagen. That would literally be illegal. They'd have to tow your car right away. But anyway, the brackets have to be facing the exhaust. They make that very clear in the instructions, but as DIY noobs, we can't even say specialists, but as DIY noobs, we would somehow goof that up and then be mad that the fitment's off. It just happens that way. It kind of makes you want to chuckle at the crap that happens sometimes. But make sure they're facing the exhaust. They say the front of the car, but some of you might go ahead and think to yourselves, like, the front of the car could also be like the side that I'm looking at. That's not the case. Just exhaust, bracket, toward the exhaust, nailed it every time. After that, we're gonna go into popping this thing in. And of course, like I said, if you don't have a beer and about 5 cuss words preloaded for when you start, you're wrong. But we're gonna go from there and figure it out. All right, troubleshooting and problems. First problem, rear valance has these upper clips right here. So you're gonna have to accept the fact that this hairpin inch of a gap is gonna be there because there's no upper clips in this diffuser to support, which, you know, leave it to any company to try to figure that out. Secondly, it could just be my diffuser, but we had a problem with this bolt, which now looking at it looks very fucking janky, but we're gonna, you know, figure that out. Thanks. The other one did sit in pretty good though. Then you would come around and you would hit these 2 bolts, which go like directly in here. See if I can get under there. They would literally sit right here. Be prepared to have about 8 cuss words loaded up for that one, because God forbid they give you a setup that wouldn't make you want to shoot yourself halfway through. But lo and behold, we figured it out. All in all, it looks good. Those few hiccups I'll probably try to play with down the road. And you know, if it blows up right off 80% of the way through when I'm driving down the road, you know, doing my solid 60 if the GTI ever gets there, I'll let you know. But it went on pretty well. I could say that I'm not displeased, but I'm not entirely pleased. But it looks good. You know, that's all that matters. Scene points, I guess. So, install, I would rate 5 out of 10 in difficulty. Not entirely hard, just tedious. And if you get one that lines up just a little odd, it's really gonna ruin your night. You're gonna load up like 5 more beers, like be cocked about 10 cuss words in. It's gonna be great. You're really gonna figure it out. It's gonna be a great time. But I will say I am pleased with it, but I will have to do one big review on most of the new stuff that I put on, because I know I'm starting to get comments about like the mats and how they're holding up, and the diffuser will be one of them. You guys didn't get to see the splitter, but needless to say, after about a year, that blew off. That'll be something down the road. Install was pretty solid. I would say grab a buddy. This is Justin, his partner in crime here. We've broken and fixed this thing so many times that even though he drives a Subaru, he's probably got a minor in Volkswagen tech. It's pretty horrendous to mess with this thing, but when you got a hatchback and you don't vape, it's out to get you. Volkswagens will be out to get you, because if you don't vape, they know, they'll sense it. It'll only be a matter of time before I get crank walk or something. But per the usual shenanigans, I wouldn't be riding the bandwagon if I didn't say like and subscribe, because how else do people promote? I would say hit the bell, but I don't post enough for people to hit the bell. So if you hit the bell and you get this ring, congrats, thanks.
I hit the bell.
Hey, homie, hit the bell. You hit the bell. But we'll see. We'll have to do a review on it, because it's going to be a great time. Unless it blew off. If it blew off, there won't be no review. In that case, it'll just be like a big gaping thing of nothing there. But for now, that's it. You know, it's your boy, Chris Jr. And if you don't know, well, you will now at some point. Or you won't. Probably won't. Don't worry about it. It's not that important. Peace.